All right, so here's my update. I am finally getting back on track. I'm back to getting up early again consistently and doing my workouts in the morning. I'm still, so I'll get up and then I'll do that, this kind of little 6-minute warm up workout. And then I'll jump right into doing my workout on the gym equipment. And this isn't really super intense. Like I said, I'm just trying to ease back into it. So the whole workout in the morning takes about 25 minutes altogether. I'm only doing one set of each exercise for now, which ideally I'd like to build up to like 3 or 4 sets on the gym workout. But it's full body and I feel pretty good. It gets me kind of warmed up in the morning, and then right after that I'll go straight to walking for an hour and reading some articles for my dissertation work. And so it's helping me get back into a pretty solid, consistent routine. I already, maybe this is just in my head, but I already feel like I'm starting to get some muscle tone back. Like my arms feel like they're already leaning out, and my arms and shoulders are starting to look like they have muscle again. So that's good. And kind of crazy in such a short time that I feel that. My legs are feeling pretty solid. Yeah, what else? That's pretty good. But I think the main thing that's kind of crazy is the diet. I have been sticking to the alternate day fasting. And like I said before, the way that I'm doing it is basically like I'm doing one day just fasting the whole day. And then the next day, I'm basically doing one meal a day. So my whole fast period is like 40 something hours between my meals, which, like I said, it's probably kind of crazy and not something that I could keep up with. But so far I'm feeling okay. There was like one day that I was pretty hungry, but it was only when I was around food. So like my roommate will bring his food in, and I mean, he has his own tiny house, but he likes to come in and eat over here. And so sometimes when he had food around me, a couple times, like a couple of the days it was totally fine. But then there was one day, I think it was Saturday, that I was pretty hungry the day he was eating, but I was like, oh, it was actually yesterday, but yesterday I was gonna eat that night. So I was like, it's okay, you're gonna eat later. I felt pretty good. I've still felt pretty high energy for most of the days, but there was one day, I can't remember which day it was. It was one of the days that I was going to eat in the evening, but I woke up after fasting like a whole day. So I'd fasted a whole day, I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning and I just felt really fatigued. There was only one day that I felt like that I felt just like really fatigued. I made it through my workout, but I didn't push myself too hard because I just didn't feel like I could. But yeah, I ended up actually having to cave a little bit and eat a little bit earlier. So normally I plan to eat around 6 on the days that I eat, but that day I went ahead and had a protein shake at like 2:30, and I immediately felt better just having that protein shake. And then I waited and ate the rest of my food later on. So far, let's see, I'll run through my apps and show you. Even though like I've not been eating, like because I'm doing the fasting this way, it really does cut out, like my calorie consumption has been pretty low. So I eat a decent amount on the days that I eat, but you know, that's basically like 2 days worth of food. And so it averages out to like 700 calories a day if I average out, you know, what I eat over 7 days. So it's not high. And so yeah, you know, they say all this stuff about metabolism. So, and they say, you know, sometimes when you cut calories, it lowers your metabolism. But I'm hoping that by doing it this way, since I'm not just eating 700 calories a day, I'm not just like lowering my daily calorie intake because I'm fasting, that hopefully on the days that I'm fasting, it is going into fat burning and not slowing down my metabolism. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is all an experiment. But yeah, I lost on average, from my average weekly weight last week was 156.5, and my average weight this week was 153.5. So I've lost about 3 pounds, which isn't crazy, for a week. But I also, feel like with how little calories I'm eating, that I should be losing more, but I don't know. I'm not bothered by it because I feel good. Like, I feel like I'm already getting leaner. So I guess we'll see when I do my measurements, because the scale hasn't changed as dramatically as I feel like the difference is. So we'll see if that gets reflected in my measurements. Another thing I've started doing, just because I'm curious, I've been watching a lot of videos on fasting, and they talk about ketosis and everything. And this one doctor, he was talking about it, and they were talking about ketones, and the guy who was interviewing was like, he said when he's done fasting, he hasn't experienced like that high energy that people seem to feel. Not energy, focus, like the clear-headedness, because I think a lot of people, when they do fasting, they do get some like brain fog. And the doctor said that from his experience, that it just varies from person to person. And he said, he's like, my brain seems to function really well with ketones, but apparently some other people's brains don't function as well with ketones. And overall, except for that one day when I was just really fatigued in general, my energy and focus has been really good on my fast days. So I guess my brain processes ketones pretty well, I guess. But all this talk about fasting and ketones and blood glucose, I got a monitor because I'm just curious. I just got this 2 days ago. So this is just a little monitor, and I have some test strips for ketones and for glucose. And so I started testing it yesterday, and I've already done 2 tests today just to see how my ketones and my blood glucose changes throughout the day. And so yesterday, before I ate at night, it looked like it was in a really good spot. Like, my ketones were in the ideal range for like fat burning, and my glucose was pretty low. And then I ate last night, and then I tested this morning, and my ketones were pretty low and my glucose was higher. But then I tested it again after I worked out, and I could already see my ketones starting to go up. So what I'm hoping is that, I'll eat one night and then my body's running on, the glucose from my food. And then when I get into the second day, when I'm fasting, like halfway through this day and into my second day of fasting, hopefully it's burning fat and releasing ketones. So I don't know, we'll see. I've got like 20 days until the cruise, so we'll just see how far I can get. And yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's the only improvements, except for my cats. Last week, this little guy was really sick, and I actually wasn't sure if he was gonna make it because he was just so sick. But we nursed him back to health, and he's doing pretty well. So definitely gonna make it. And the Giardia issue is gone, so I don't have to worry about cleaning up messes all the time. Him and his brother still haven't learned to go to the bathroom outside, so I'm still having to clean out litter boxes again, which I don't like doing, but eventually I'm pretty sure they'll learn to go outside so I can be back to litter box free. But yeah, so far so good. I'm back in a good routine. I feel great that I'm getting up early and I'm getting into it and getting stuff done and, you know, starting to make progress. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm just gonna keep sticking to this until the cruise, and I think because I have such a short goal frame, I should be able to stick to it. So since I have that cruise as like a goal, but yeah, so I will run through my apps real quick and then do my measurements. Okay, starting with the Fitbit app, I have been getting my steps. Okay, so my goal is to walk for 2 hours a day. What is this? This is today, last week. Yeah, so there where I've got up to 7,000 steps, it means I did do at least an hour walking. And then those days that are a little bit higher were the days that I did 2 walking sessions probably. And so that's the goal, is to get that extra hour of cardio in going forward. I've already got the 1 set of walking today. I already did that. So I'm hoping later this afternoon I can get another walk in. And then my sleep has still been pretty good, I think. Yeah. Pretty decent. I feel like I'm going to get less sleep because I'm trying not to sleep in anymore. And for the last few weeks, I was getting 9 hours on average, close to 9 hours on average. But now that I'm forcing myself to wake up early, that may go down to between 7 and 8, but still pretty good. So here's the weight. So last week I was close to 156. And then, this is how, I don't think daily measurements really make sense, because you've really got to look at the average, because there's some days that I felt like I should have lost and I didn't, and other days I lost where I didn't expect it. So it just kind of randomly goes up and down. But overall, I'm focusing on the trend, which is starting to trend down, as you can see. But yeah, still quite a bit higher than it has been in the past year. So we're going to try to get it back down to the 140 is the first goal for now. What else? I think that's all on here. I don't think there's really too much to show on MyFitnessPal. Just again, here's the workouts that I'm doing. So, like I said, I've just got this quick warm up that I just do 1 set of each of these, and I do the workout for just 30 seconds just to get all warmed up. And I'm doing a mix of just kind of try to get a full body workout. And then with my gym workout, again, I'm just doing 1 set of each of these. Hit my chest and my legs, lats, triceps, glutes, then some rows, and then a fly. So I feel like it's pretty good. And then just a bunch of hip thrusters with my little booty sprout machine. And I'm going to try to do that consistently every day, because that was the one thing that I didn't do every day. And then, so today is a fasting day, so I just am having my pre-workout, and then lemon water is normally what I'll drink throughout the day, and that's it. Let me show you this new app that I have. So the reason I got that blood tester that I did was because it had this app that connects to it, so it's really easy to kind of keep track of all the readings. Maybe the other ones all have this, but this was the first thing I noticed when I was ordering it. I got it off of Amazon. And so I started testing. That first one was my roommate's. He was just testing it out. But so I started testing yesterday morning, And in the morning, my glucose was 79. And then in the afternoon, I tested it after I worked out, and it had gone up to 83. And so I'm just, I'm kind of wondering, like, even though I didn't eat, I assume glucose probably gets released if my body's breaking down fat, like using my body's energy stores. So that's why I think it went up after I worked out. And then I ate last night, and I meant to test it after I ate, but they say you should wait like an hour after eating, and I just pretty much eat and fall asleep. So I didn't test it like directly after I ate, but you could still see in the morning my glucose was still quite a bit higher than the other morning since I'd eaten that night. And then with the ketones, so yeah, 1.9 is supposed to be in a good range. So yeah, like 1.9, I think it said between like 0.5 and 3 is a good like fat burning range or whatever. And so yeah, all day yesterday it stayed at 1.9, which is supposed to be good. And then this morning when I woke up and took it, it was 0.6. And then I took it again after I worked out, and my ketones had already gone up to 1.0. So I can already see just from fasting for this first half of the day that my ketones are already starting to go up. Yeah, my glucose went down just a little bit. But what I'm really watching, I guess, is the ketones. So yeah, there's that. And once I get enough data, it should, like, I don't have enough data points to really show a trend or anything yet. So I'm wanting to test it kind of multiple times a day to be able to kind of see the trends and what happens. So there's that. And now I will hop over and take my measurements. Okay, so like I said, I feel like I'm starting to lean out a little bit, but I don't know if it really looks like it visually. So that's how I look in my workout clothes. And then still have some on my tummy, obviously. It's always the last part to come off. I don't think I've lost that much in my chest, which normally, like, when I start, like, dieting, it's like my chest just deflates. I haven't really noticed it so much yet. I do feel like, I think the booty sprout, like, even though I haven't used it consistently, maybe it's either that or it's like the kickbacks that I'm doing. I do feel like that that is getting more toned pretty quickly, but I guess we will see. Let's do the measurements. So last week, or like for a while, my band has stayed pretty consistent. It's 32 and a half. This week it's like 32 and a quarter, so that went down just a little bit. And then last week, this was 37 and 3/4. Okay, so it did go down. It's looking like between 37 and a half and 37 and a quarter. So I'll just put 37 and a half. And my waist, I don't know if it's gone down. But I can definitely feel it, like, I feel like my arms and my legs for sure are starting to tone up. Alright. Oh, so my waist has gone down like an inch. 34. Last week it was 35. My hips are pretty big last week. They were 42 and a quarter. I try to just measure it, like, I try to find my hip bone and just put the tape there. It's still like 42. And then my thighs usually don't change too much. Like, I feel like I put on muscle in my thighs so well that, like, even if it's, like, I think they stay big. It's just sometimes it's fat and sometimes it's more muscle. Oh, it's gone down. Last week they were 22. Now it's looking like just a little bit, 21 3/4. But I feel like they're more solid. Okay, so after 1 week, really back to working out consistently and actually dieting or following a diet and tracking my meals again, starting to see some progress. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I've already got basically everything planned. Oh, Goob is coming in. I can't keep him, like, he can't be contained. He's just like a little escape artist. He crawls under all my doors. I had him in this cage whenever he was sick. I have a big like cat cage and he would just always find a way to escape it. So but yeah, I'm glad he's doing better. But where was I? But yeah, I've got everything planned, and I think that's another thing that's helping me. Was I sat down like last week or the week before last and just really planned out everything. I've got everything in my calendar. I know what meals that I'm cooking. I'm cooking on the days that I eat purple carrot, and then I add some other things, like I'll eat an apple and an orange, some chickpeas, just whatever. Usually whenever I have my meal, I'll have between like, I don't know, 1,500 and 2,000 calories, just whatever I feel like. I just eat until I get pretty full. And then yeah, so I've already got like what purple carrot meals I'm gonna be eating and when I'm gonna be eating them, all the way up to the cruise. I've even got kind of a basic plan on the cruise. The plan is to do 1 meal a day and just eat like the dining room meals at night. So I'd still be kind of like doing daily fasting. But we'll see how it goes. Like, I'm not gonna like not enjoy the cruise just for the sake of, you know, losing weight or looking good. But I've done a cruise before where I just did that, where I just ate the meals. I would just have coffee and stuff throughout the day and just kept myself busy with activities and everything. Like, I know a lot of people go on cruises and vacations just specifically to eat, but you better not poop over there. What are you doing? Okay. But yeah, I mean, okay, maybe we still have some Giardia issues going on. I'm gonna go and clean that up and then spend the rest of the day working and just sticking to it the rest of this week, and I'll check back in next week.